Hi there, welcome to Isle Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Leo energy, and we're going to do this 10 card spread, and we're going to read it from a couple different perspectives because it's not a personal reading. I don't know anything about your life. People have free wills. Some people harness high vibe Leo energy. Some people harness a more worldly focused Leo energy. Some people harness a more shadowy Leo energy. We all do tap into Leo energy, and if we harness high vibe Leo energy, we'd probably want to be in relationships with some people who harness high vibe Leo energy. High vibe Leo energy is people who've dealt with the truth. They've shed light on their own shadow nature. You know, how we can all be prideful or immature or be bossy or controlling, or, we've learned lessons in life. And we're more open to giving and receiving love and being loving and giving and nurturing and encouraging and supportive to people because we've learned to do that within ourselves. We've freed ourselves from some of the things that used to manipulate us in our more worldly, shadowy ego nature. And everybody's kind of learned some different lessons in life than some other people in the world. Some other people still might have some lessons to learn about treating other people the way they like to be treated, or being open to love, or, because some people aren't. They don't want to do love. They get hurt doing love, and they keep operating from their more egoic, defensive nature. Want to be in relationships, want to indulge in relationships, might want to get married and do all these things, but they're still defensive to being hurt. So they don't let their more authentic nature, high vibe Leo nature, out to play because they're operating from their more worldly or shadowy Leo energy. And instead of being truthful and honest and authentic and warm and loving, they can try to manipulate people to think that they're that type of person when they're really not. And sometimes we are in workplaces, friendships, and relationships with people for a long time until we finally accept the truth that they're really not on the same page. So, anyway, the overarching reason for the reading is Ace of Pentacles. We can all want new beginnings. Some people have learned lessons. Some people just want to have a new beginning. I don't want to see the truth. I just want to go get in a new job, a new friendship, or a new relationship. Some people also want to have new beginnings, but they did learn lessons in life. And they're not the same person that they were before. We start out with the Six of Wands not showing itself. Some people aren't operating from ego because the Six of Wands is Leo energy. Some people are hiding that they are operating from their more egoic nature. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. Again, people want these new beginnings. They're inspired to have a new beginning, but why? Just because something else didn't turn out victorious? I just want to go have a new beginning with the Two of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. I want to get in a relationship with someone else who might be single because I just want to have a new beginning, or it would make me look like a shining star in the world, or I just like to be in a relationship. I have mental conflict. I want to get in a new relationship to get rid of my mental conflict. Or have I dealt with my mental conflict? Have I dealt with the truth of why something didn't work out victoriously before? Did I realize how I needed to grow, heal, and mature? I can only work with my issues, Did I do the work within myself to align with my more loving, hopeful, independent nature and still believe in my dreams? Did I learn lessons from that life experience that I'm ready to keep moving forward in hope and faith and belief and love and in my dreams? Did I see the truth about people I was working with before? If I don't see the truth that maybe something didn't work out because of the type of people I got in a relationship with, well, I'd probably still go back and get in a relationship with people like that again because I didn't learn the lesson. It could be, oh, they didn't want to move forward with me. I'll just go find someone else to move forward with me. It's like, but are we still going and trying to get in relationships with the same kind of people we tried to get in a relationship with before? Are we seeing the truth that not everybody's on the same page as us? We have to acknowledge that. Maybe they are got some shadowy traits and characteristics. Maybe we shouldn't go out with people who seem to have some of those shadowy traits and characteristics. Are they more ego-driven, money-driven, self-driven, more about themselves than working cooperatively with people in a relationship? Do they have things that they're not independent of? Do they still have a lot of mental conflict? Are we going to go get in a relationship with someone else like that again? The truth sets us free. I learned the lesson I was meant to learn from that life experience. I came into contact with certain people who, in a lot of ways, we could have had a lot of commonality. Maybe I got in a relationship because I wanted to be in a relationship. Did they just get in a relationship with me because they wanted to be in a relationship? You know, all these different things. But we can get in relationships with people where we really do think it could be a long-term, victorious, successful relationship because we do have a lot of similarities in a lot of ways. You know, we're going to go through this. You know, some people right now, hopefully people who've learned lessons in life, they're not operating from their ego. They're in relationships with people, the Ten of Pentacles, Virgo energy people who, they don't have to be a Virgo, they just harness high vibe Virgo energy. They also are people who are willing to put in work and effort to be inspired by the truth and love. They also have done work within themselves to be more independent of their more worldly egoic nature and are willing to stay focused on the big picture. We have this common goal. Love is what is driving our decisions. We're going to keep each person taking responsibility within ourselves to like maintain balance within ourselves, love ourselves, believe in ourselves, be loving and encouraging to the people we're in relationship with. Those are the people we're going to move forward with. In high vibe energy, there might be some people who aren't coming with because they harness a more worldly, shadowy Leo energy. Then we have the Five of Swords, the Two of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. The Five of Swords can come after the, well, it does come after the Four of Swords. So, you know, from the 6 to the 5, there's something we know we need to let go of. When we've lived our life at a certain phase of life, just like we did age 15, 18, 21, 25, there were certain ways we viewed the world. And it's appropriate in the Ten of Pentacles for us to live that full life experience because that's what age we're at. This is what maturity level we're at. This is how we view life. But once we've kind of completed that phase of life, we're ready to become independent of it. And we realize what things we need to let go of, which things cause us mental conflict. I was living my life at that phase of life. As I lived my life at that phase of life, I realized there was things that didn't quite seem aligned with my truth. So then it's kind of like we recalibrate. And it's like, okay, what were the things I did like? What are the things I didn't like? What are the things I want to take with me? What kind of things do I want to detach from? Ways within myself that were time to let go of, some of my more immature ways, defensive ways, whatever. You know, we go through this process of figuring out what am I willing to take with me? What are the good things to take with me? What are some things I need to let go of to have this brand new beginning? I have grown and matured myself that I have become independent of an old phase of life, things in the world, ways of viewing life, ways of living life that at one time did kind of drive and motivate me, but I've lived that phase of life. Now I'm ready to go to the next phase of life. And I realize from the 6 down to the 5 that there's certain truths that aren't my truth anymore. I learned that. I lived my life at a certain phase of life. I was all in. I thought for sure this is the way I want to live my life. But then the 6 of Swords moves away from the 5 of Swords, things that cause us mental conflict, that's not quite my truth. And so then the 5s can talk about change, that I lived my life a certain way. I learned these lessons in life. I've grown, I've healed, I've matured in certain ways. I've realized what things I need to let go of. I'm ready to face my fears, even though I do have mental conflict about moving forward in life differently, because I did have a dream. The Two of Wands can be I did have this certain way of viewing life, and I could have had certain people in my life that I hoped were going to keep moving forward with me, but they might have their own mental conflict about if that dream is really their dream. And again, we get in these relationships with people. This is my dream. This is my truth. This is kind of what drives and motivates me. What drives and motivates you? What's more important to you versus what's more important to me? And it can cause us some stress about detaching from, I'm not going to live my life like that anymore. I'm not going to view life that way anymore. Maybe I used to be more codependent, caught up in things of the world. Maybe I was more defensive. Maybe I was more about inspired by these things of the world. And it can be scary. But from the 5 to the 9, we take back the 4 swords, that if our truth is that we have healed and grown and matured in some way, and we're ready to face our fears, to move forward in life differently, and if there was some people in our life that aren't ready to move forward in that way with us, then we're not going to maybe keep trying to heal a relationship with them, because we've seen that their truth and what they're driven and motivated by is different. And that maybe we healed and grew and matured in some ways that they haven't. And everybody's in their journey of life to learn these different lessons in life. And when we're ready to move forward in life differently, some other people might not be ready to move forward in life that way. And they're going to keep living their life at that phase of life that at one point we were on the same page as them, but we've changed. Some of the things that used to manipulate us could have been some of the same things that manipulated some of the people we were in a relationship with. Just our level of fear and our insecurities and our self-limiting beliefs and how we view life, and if we're willing to face our fears to move forward or we're not. And we focus on the future, staying focused on truth and love, with the next card being the Magician card. I have my long-term goals of what I want to manifest in my life, and what I might want to manifest, and what I view as being just and fair, again, can be different than what other people think is just and fair. What I find victorious and successful could be different than what other people want to do that they find victorious and successful. And the truth sets us free. I just need to see the truth of it. Get out of my ego about it. If we were more on the same page and we were motivated and inspired by more of the same things, we'd still be in friendships, jobs, and relationships with certain people. But as time went by in the relationship, we realized we weren't. And it doesn't have, again, what we can take responsibility for and see where we needed to grow and heal and mature ourselves, we can take responsibility for that, and we can change those things within ourselves. We can heal. We can do this work within ourselves. And some other people, they're going to have to do that within themselves, but we could realize we're on different pages at different times. There's some people that aren't willing to get out of their ego. In High Vibe, the 6 of Wands and Leo energy is, I took this creative, inspired action to deal with my own inner conflict. I was willing to go within, that's Virgo energy. I was inspired to go within to take this inspired action to love myself, to free myself from some of these things that manipulate me, that stop me from loving and believing in myself and believing in my dreams. And I did that work, and I saw the truth. And I saw that there was things that I needed to distance myself from, habits and patterns or whatever that I needed to detach from, because those things were not in alignment with what I want to manifest in my life. Sometimes we're just immature and we want to indulge in all these things of the world. Yippee. I'm young and single or whatever. I'm not in a relationship. I can do whatever the hell I want. And we can do that for a while, but then are we staying on path with our goals, or did we kind of get sidetracked? Did we start to realize that the direction we were moving in and maybe the things we were doing in our life and the people we were moving forward with is like, wait a minute, wait. That's right. I did have a dream. Am I on the right path? Am I in the right job, the right friendships, the right relationships? Are the people that I'm in relationship with, why are they in relationship with me? Are they in it? Do we have the same dream? And if we don't, again, the Nine of Swords is focused on that last sword of truth. Are we wanting to manifest the same thing? Is what I think is just and fair what you think is just and fair? I might have a certain way of viewing the dream life. If I want people to be more authentic, high vibe Leo energy, inspired to heal and grow and mature themselves, to look at life from a higher perspective, not get so caught up in being about ourself or the world or the ego or indulgence or making money and materialism and things like that so important in our life. It kind of tips our life out of balance. Like, what about love? Are we both in it because of love? And there could be some people that did get kind of more caught up in the world. And some people are right now more caught up in the world. These things they want to indulge in, or these things that they think are more important, and they're just kind of caught up in the illusion of the world. I want to have these things of the world. I want to look like a shining star. Some people in the Five of Swords, from the Six of Swords, I don't want to do truth and love. I don't want to be more just and fair. I don't want to have to act with character and integrity. Some people, the Five of Swords, can be people who want to win at all costs. I want what I want. I have a dream, and damn it, I'm going to put in a lot of work and effort to try to get that, what I want, to manifest. I don't care if I'm in a relationship with someone who loves me or I love them. I don't care if they look at life from a higher perspective. I might not look at life from a higher perspective. Some people are shadowy. It's all about them. They are not inspired to get out of their ego. It is all about them. I want these things of the world. I have mental conflict about love. Having to be, high vibe Leo is about being more disciplined within yourself, tempering your more worldly egoic nature. Some people have a problem with that. Some people could think, I have all these things of the world. I could be attractive. I could be charming. I could have social clout. I could have money. I think people should indulge me in a relationship. That's my idea of the dream relationship. I just need to find someone who will agree with me and work with me to try to manifest what I want into reality, where it's really, again, some people are just more about themselves. Some people got themselves in a relationship like that. They're working on putting work and effort with someone right now to try to manifest that. Until people have lost all sense of conscience, I think some of those people will have mental conflict because they know they're maybe not being authentic. They create the illusion probably with people, oh yeah, I'm this just and fair person. I'm being authentic. I'm being honest. I want to do love. I'm not selfish. I'm not greedy. I'm not prideful. I'm not egotistical. I'm not self-centered. I'm not materialistic. But for some of them, they are. And I think it causes them some mental conflict. But if what they want, the Two of Wands, Aries energy, is about the self. All of us in our Aries energy could be more about ourself. I don't want to do love. I'd have to get out of my defensive egoic nature to do love, but I'm more about protecting myself. And I don't let my more authentic nature come out to play in the world. I do let my more egoic nature run my life. I just create this illusion that I've learned lessons in life. In high vibe, the world means that people learn lessons. I'm just going to try to create an illusion that I've grown, I've healed, I've matured, that I'm ready to do like equal give and take in a relationship. But I'm going to hide that I'm defensive to the truth. And really, it's all about me and looking like a shining star in the world. That's what's most important. I want to look like I have what other people have in the world. I'm just not willing to do love. So some of the people that are kind of shadowy like that, just so long as they look like they have what other people have in the world, some of those people might try to get in a relationship with someone who is loving, stable, single, has hope and faith and belief in their dreams. Yeah, I'm going to get in a relationship with someone like that because it'll make it look like I'm that type of person. Look at me. Look who I got in a relationship with. Look, I got myself another loving, nurturing, supportive person. They don't see the truth of who I am yet. Perfect. They have mental conflict maybe about believing in their own dreams. And this looks good. It looks like together we could have what other people have in the world. If they get in a relationship with someone who's more high vibrational, more connected in with their emotions and their intuition instead of being tipped more into balance, being driven by ego and fear and codependency and stuff like that, some of the people that they're trying to move forward with right now, just like some of the people in their past, they do listen to their intuition. That would be high vibe Leo. And they're like, I'm not sure. This all looks good, but something about it is causing me some mental conflict. Is this love? Do they love me? Is this everything I thought it was going to be? There's something, that last sword of truth. There's all these different things in the Nine of Swords that, yep, I'm on board with you. Yep, I agree with you. Yep, I like that too. But then we get down to that last sword of truth in the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords. And it could be, do you look at life from a higher perspective? Because that's Aquarius energy. Or is it, where you're willing to step outside of societal norms to bring needed change? There's a higher truth and justice that you aspire to. Not just these things of the world, not just to be in a relationship, not just to have stability and security or things like that. Is it truth and love? And I think when people are trying to manipulate other people, eventually they could be in a relationship with them for a long time, but as people, it's more easy because we have a lot of lessons learned. So when we're younger, we kind of get more caught up in those things and we think people will change. Oh, I'm sure they'll get rid of their defensive nature. I'm sure they'll get rid of their more worldly, egoic way of viewing life. I'm sure they'll choose love. But as you've gone through life more, you kind of realize that it's hard to change people. People are the way they are based on their life experiences. And when they went through this cycle of life, they kind of came out over here saying, nope, I'm defensive. Nope, I might be kind of bossy. I might be kind of controlling. I might be a little bit more about me. I might like to try to manipulate people versus being more truthful and honest and authentic and loving. And as you get older in life, it's kind of like, I have learned to start listening to my intuition and dealing with the truth. If I meet someone who has these ways of being, and that's not like who I am, yeah, I could be drawn and attracted to them for lots of reasons. People present themselves, high vibe Leo energy. People can be victorious. People can be successful. People can be charming. People can be attractive. But high vibe people have really learned to listen to their intuition. I've been in relationships with people where all those things, and we seem to have checked every box. But some of those relationships didn't work out because it was, are you really, really willing? Is love kind of the driving decision maker in your life? And wanting to work together with people cooperatively from a place of love? Or is it more about you or your ego or the image and how it looks and wanting to win? look like you won. I don't want someone to be in a relationship with me for those reasons. So for people that are in a mismatched relationship, right now they could be trying to move forward in something. And the shadowy people, if they know it's kind of gotten to that point in the relationship where the more hopeful, believing, loving person they can start to tell is kind of starting to have some mental conflict about the relationship, they're really putting a lot of work and effort to manifest that person putting an end to their mental conflict and exchanging resources with them, or continuing to exchange resources with them in the Six of Pentacles, and hoping to keep hiding the truth that it is really more about the shadowy person's ego or image or what they want. And they're hoping the high vibe person will keep wanting these things enough that they'll keep ignoring listening to their intuition. But the high vibe people, it's kind of like their intuition. Some of those people could be trying to end the relationship right now, but they're struggling within themselves, because if I end the relationship, then I do maybe have to speak my truth, deal with the truth. We can all have been in relationships where it was kind of a mismatched relationship. And for a long time, we can put a lot of work and effort into trying to make it work. And we do kind of want to turn our back on the truth, because we really don't want, we just hope things will change. We really don't want, we'd like it to work. We want the dream to come into reality. But there can come a certain point in time where we just can't ignore the truth anymore. And I do have to look to the future, and I do have to let this go. Sometimes some people are in a relationship where they are on the same page, and we can all be tempted, right? There's other people in the world that we could know, wow, and it could be people we used to know, where it's like, wow, you seem like the people who are currently in relationships is what I'm talking about. They could look back at some people, either people they've known in their life or people that they know, and it could be people who it's like, wow, I used to think I'd really wanted a dream to come into reality with you, but it didn't work out that way. And then I got in a different relationship. Well, those people could be really stressed out, and it's really making them think about, why are they in the relationship they're in? What really drives and motivates them? What drives and motivates the people they're in a relationship with? Is this the right relationship? Should I let go of exchanging resources with anyone else in the world? Should I keep moving forward with the people I'm in a relationship with? If I do, is it because I don't want to speak the truth? Is it because I don't want to end the relationship? Because I am in a relationship, I have someone who is willing to do equal give and take with me. But is it my truth? Why am I in it? Why are they in it? Is there someone else? Maybe I should retreat and let this relationship go, and then maybe, because high vibe people don't want to make a decision more out of ego. It's not something to be proud of, right? But so some people could be really struggling within themselves right now. Is this my truth? Isn't this my truth? Am I willing to speak my truth? Am I not willing to speak my truth? Am I being tempted by my pride, my ego, and my lust and my greed? I don't want to do that. And then I'm going to repeat an old pattern. I'm going to be manipulated by the world. And I'm going to let go of possibly a relationship with people who are self-aware, insightful, truthful, honest, look at life from a higher perspective. Why would I be tempted to take action in my lust or my greed or my pride or my ego? Some of those people are really, questioning themselves. What is their truth? Some of you could be single. You could have made an offer to someone, If you're high vibe, you aren't operating from ego. You meet people, you know people, you don't know if people are in a relationship or not. You could have made an offer to someone. I think high vibe people would tell people the truth. You're not trying to manipulate people. The truth is, something I had been in wasn't aligned with my truth. And I realized that and I got out of it. Now I'm single and, I have this dream I want to bring into reality. And as I was moving forward, I kind of realized maybe there's people I know in my life or I have known in my life that really are people who are on the same page as me. And I think in our life, we're drawn and attracted to certain people because we have lessons to learn in life. So sometimes some people who could have been loving, encouraging, stable, grounded people who had looked at life from a higher perspective, they were in our life, but at that time we had mental conflict about being in a relationship with them, or even if we were in a relationship with them, we could have gotten out of it because maybe we hadn't learned to love ourselves. It's like, oh no, you are like me, but I kind of reject me. I get in relationships with people who seem to kind of be different than me, maybe people who don't treat me the way I treat them. And we have to go through those life experiences to work through that. We can all repeat certain patterns, ways of behaving, ways of viewing life, and we'll keep repeating that pattern until it causes us so much mental conflict. We'd kind of do this inner work to figure out, why do I get in relationships with people who don't seem to be on the same page as me? Why do I push away people who might be people who would treat me the way I treat them? Why don't I love myself? Why do I maybe keep chasing after people who really don't treat me the way I treat them? What is it? And it forces us to do this work within ourselves to appreciate what we bring to the table and appreciate that I do deserve to be in a just and fair and balanced relationship, that I do deserve to have my dreams come into reality. And when I do get in a relationship with someone who is more on the same page as me, it does challenge me to be willing to accept love. It also could bring up some fears and insecurities within myself that I would have to deal with if I don't get in a relationship with someone who challenges that within me. I can keep repeating this pattern, which is, I don't think we think of it that way, but it really kind of is us indulging ourselves in our more immature, egoic nature. I guess if it doesn't work out, well, we all knew they were kind of bossy and controlling. Well, we all knew that they were kind of impulsive and reckless. Well, we all knew that they have an addiction, and it really wasn't forcing us to grow and mature. And it is this thing of people should want to be in a relationship with me, maybe because I am this loving, nurturing person, and I don't understand why those people don't want to move forward with me in that way. Well, they can't move forward in that way if that's not where they're at in life. So why keep trying to change people who aren't on the same page as you? And some people have gotten out of their ego about it, and it takes time. I think even learning to love yourself is the hardest lesson to learn. And to get over our ego of love and encouragement and all that is the answer to change. But we can be loving and encouraging to people, but until they're willing to do this work within themselves, to deal with their own mental conflict and their own fears and insecurities, sometimes, it's kind of like them indulging themselves in a relationship with someone who's loving and encouraging, but then it never forces them, because we're kind of enabling them, just like people could have enabled us at different times in our life, for us to deal with our issues. If people were motivated and inspired to do that work within themselves, they would. And we have some people in our life that we do that work with, and some of those people we're going to keep moving forward with. Some of the people that are in relationships have people like that in their life, and they're both willing to do this work. And they're going to keep moving forward. And some of the people in the world who are maybe thought they'd like to be in a relationship with that person, it's not going to work out because they're already in relationships with people who are like that. And they're not going to sabotage that relationship. For the people that are kind of more, though, in a mismatched relationship, just by having other people in the world that they could see are more on the same page as them, good or bad. Because sometimes there's more worldly, shadowy people in relationships with loving people, and it's like, damn, I don't like to live my life like this. I would like to go live my life like this. Why did I get myself in a relationship with someone who's more about these things when I'm more about those things? And the more loving, hopeful, believing people could start to feel like, oh my gosh, this person isn't driven and motivated by the things I am, and I'm not driven and motivated by the things that they're driven and motivated by. So we could have some people that are in mismatched relationships that they both might be trying to manifest getting out of it. Could be causing problems in a relationship, and it really causes people stress because it's like, I'm afraid of going, just like I don't want to have to go get a new job if this job isn't working out. I don't want to go get a new friend. I don't want to go find a new romantic relationship. And some of the people, though, because of the ego and the fear and all that stuff, some of those people will keep staying in it because they are manipulated by these things of the world and ego, and they'll keep exchanging resources in a relationship, even though both of them could be hiding the truth, and both of them could feel kind of betrayed that the person they're in a relationship with isn't more driven and motivated by the things that they are. We're either willing to live our authentic truth or we're not. And also, High Vibe Leo, I do think, it takes time to be more authentically yourself in the world because, again, we got to learn all these lessons about what my truth is, what my truth isn't. I grew up with a family. I grew up in a community. I grew up in a certain area of the world, and I have these certain ways of viewing life. And, of course, I think those ways are are right. We kind of get indoctrinated into them. And then people in our life expect us to live our life a certain way and kind of like, this is good, that's bad, this is wrong, that's right, you can only do this in certain circumstances, blah, blah, blah. And it takes time to really kind of come into our own and get more clear and feel more independent and to really work through some of these issues of what is my truth. And that can be difficult because sometimes we're in those relationships with people and, we're not the same person we were at a certain point in time. The Ten of Pentacles can be with our original family. It could be with friend groups that we've been friends with forever. It can be jobs that we've been in for a long time. It can be relationships that we've been in for a long time, like romantic ones. And then it's like, I'm just not the same person I was before. And again, I think loving people offer truth and love to the people they're with, trying to get them to just kind of see how my dreams could be different than your dreams. The things that motivate and inspire me could be different than they were before, but I still want you in my life. Can we work cooperatively in this relationship where it doesn't have to be all your way. It doesn't have to be all my way. Can we get out of our ego, which is kind of our defensiveness, of thinking that like it had to be this certain way? Are we both willing to accept that people change, that people aren't exactly the same person they were before, and that we need to accommodate that because it's just part of the growing and maturing process, that we don't view life the same way we could have viewed life? If everybody's operating from truth and love, we still might not, because there's a lot of things we could change in our world. And sometimes it's like, we wish people the best. Sometimes relationships end, and it's like, I love you, I hope it works out well for you, but that's just not how I view life, and, but I wish you the best. Let's go see what's coming up. We'll probably go through this here just a little bit more in a moment, but let's look at what are people who harness some high vibe Leo energy. What's coming up for them that they might not see coming? The Queen of Wands, because of the Tower. You know, there comes a time where we can put a lot of work and effort into a certain thing, and we could want to hold on to ways of living life, people in our life, but our intuition is telling us we're just not operating from the same foundation. High vibe people is wanting to build a solid foundation. You build it on truth and love. And again, some people, their idea of what's just and fair, their idea of the dream life, if they want to do love or not do love, how they view love. You know, some people can be, well, I love you, but I'm really immature. I love you, but I want to be single. I love you, but I want to be able to manipulate you. You know, everybody's got their ideas of what the truth of love is supposed to look like or act like, you know? And high vibe people listen to their intuition. And some high vibe people have seen the truth. That there's some people in their life who don't want to be more authentically themselves in the world. They like to make their life more about maybe conforming to the world or letting their worldly or their ego nature kind of run their life. Might be more about money and materialism or indulgence. Might be more about themselves. And even though it causes a mental conflict, they might know that some of those people might be stressed. They might know. We can even have people in our life that we love and we could feel they're being manipulated by other people. Just like people can be manipulated by their fear, by their addictions, by their codependent nature. And we've all got to learn lessons the hard way. You know, we all had people when we were young too. Honey, why don't you love and believe in yourself more? Honey, why are you hanging out with people like that? Honey, why are you doing that in your life? And it's like, that's where I'm at. You know, I gotta go live my life. And we have to let other people go live their life. Even though, you know, we're worried about them. We can offer people love and encouragement. Might not spend so much time with them. But, you know, we offer people love and encouragement and resources, but we might keep our distance because we could feel that the way they're living their life, it's not going to turn out the way they think because we've already been there and done that. And we know it's not going to work out probably the way they think. But we don't feel anyway it's a safe and secure long-term environment for us, whether it's a job, a friendship, or a romantic relationship. And then we also have to accept that sometimes people are in their own relationships, high vibe, low vibe, whatever, but they are, and we have to deal with the reality of that. And then we need to let them go to live their life. And we have hope and faith and belief that God's got other plans for us. Our dreams coming into reality aren't codependent on a certain person. It's just like you know, we've had different friends throughout our life, and like, oh my gosh, if that one friend left, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to find another best friend like that. Well, as time goes by, you find another friend, and then, you know, over time, that person maybe becomes your good friend. And, you know, we just have to go with the flow, quit holding on to old foundations where people aren't working together with us. Instead of working with us, they might be working with other people. And they might be working with people that are on the same page as them, or people they're not seeing the truth of. And they're going to learn some hard lessons. But if they're not willing, you know, and sometimes we don't even know that we have to work on these issues until we get in those other relationships. And it is to try to get us to learn to love and believe in ourselves. And sometimes we know some people who don't love and believe in themselves. And it is all these other things that they go indulge in to make themselves feel better, that they think is the answer. The answer isn't me learning to love myself and standing up for myself and knowing my worth and value. No, no, no. I just go indulge in these things or relationships. That's the answer. And they're going to learn some of the same hard lessons we've learned. And then I think as you move forward in that energy, there's going to be other people seeing you move forward in that energy. They see you're not taking action more out of pride and ego and indulgence and immaturity. They see that you're being very stable and grounded, know your worth and value, believe in yourself, believe in your dreams. You're not trying to force things and taking action like, I just want to be in a relationship. I want to, trying to create this illusion about your life. I'm just living my life. I'm going with the flow, enjoying the people in my life. I could try to force the wheel of fate in my favor, but I think if I tried to do that, that's not going to probably work out. So I'm just going to go with the flow, and I'm not going to take action out of ego. And other people who might be in relationships with people who might be operating more from ego, where they kind of feel manipulated, that they think the people they're in relationship with aren't really being truthful and authentic or willing to grow and heal and mature themselves. Some of those people could look at the high vibe people and they'd kind of like to maybe be in a relationship with them, but if they're already in one, yeah, that's a problem. And for other people who aren't in another relationship, they just got to work through their own fears and insecurities and about speaking their truth. And I think eventually other people who are on the same page as you are going to want to be in a relationship with you, and you are going to move forward to manifest your dreams. And you will have released that old way of living life, old way of viewing life, some of those old jobs, friendships, and romantic relationships that you'd been in. What's coming up? Oh, and some people that are just in it right now, they are listening to their intuition and they're seeing that the foundation they are in is not aligned with their truth. And they're going to stop exchanging resources with some people in their life. And it could be really shocking to people in the world that they're doing that. Because again, by worldly standards, this could have looked really good, really stable, like long term, like you'd stay in that job forever, be that person's friend forever, or be in that romantic relationship. But just like some people have already done this, every day in the world, there's people who are realizing, wait a minute, I thought this was on the same page. Something has happened that has made me realize we are not on the same page. And I'm going to defend my dream, even though I have fears and insecurities about doing it. I'm not going to stay in something where I feel like it's not my truth. And I'm being manipulated either by myself or by others. And I'm going to stop exchanging resources with that situation. And I'm going to go within, and I'm going to do this work within myself and stand up for what I believe in. And then when I am ready and I have worked through this mental conflict, that's when I will take action on my truth. But it takes time to recover after that situation if you don't want to repeat that pattern again and take action more out of pride and ego. But there are some people who aren't inspired to want to figure out the truth, and they are manipulated by all these things, and they could just go get in a relationship right away. I want to look like I've moved on. I want to look like I'm the winner. I want to look like I'm victorious and successful. And then I think some of those people could end up having a lot of mental conflict because they really didn't deal with some of the issues of the past. And they could get in relationships more because they're mad, because they feel betrayed. They're mad that other people weren't on the same page as them. Or they are kind of a bossy or kind of ego person, and they want to show how victorious and successful because that's what drives them. And that could cause a mental conflict because some of the people that didn't stay in relationship with them are these loving, stable, nurturing people, but they weren't willing to get out of being more about themselves or all their fears and insecurities. And if they weren't willing to work through them, eventually people are going to let go of being in a relationship with them, and they're going to just jump into another relationship out of pride or ego or lust or greed or competitiveness. And then they end up still having all this mental conflict and stress again because they never really they invested taking action more out of pride or ego than really dealing with the truth of the situation, to come to terms with it, to come to a place of peace about it. And then there's some people in the world, they just want to win at all costs, and everybody's a pawn in their game. And they're really stressed out if the next person they're in a relationship with, if those people are ever going to do this inner work, because if they don't ever do the inner work to change and heal and grow and mature themselves, they don't want other people to do it either. I want you to make your life about what I make my life about, and I don't want you to ever deal with your inner conflict. I don't want you to heal. I don't want you to look at life from a higher perspective. I want you to make life the way I live life. And that can be hard to do because it is like, it's not going with the normal flow. People generally do want to deal with some of their stuff to be free of it. And there's some people in the world that never do. No, it all just gets shoved under the surface. It gets buried in a box in the back of their brain. I do not deal with it. Well, I think it could be kind of hard to find someone else who doesn't deal with those issues, But what's coming up for some of the people who harness a more worldly or shadowy Leo energy? Oh, that's funny. I have two of the same deck combined. So we have the Queen of Wands again, because of the Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. What I think is going to happen for the people, I think the truth sets us free, growing and healing and maturing ourselves, freeing ourselves from the things that manipulate us so we can go live our authentic life. The more worldly, shadowy people keep choosing to align with their more shadowy Leo energy of ego. And it's more about being unwilling to change, or these things of the world that they make so important to them, that they want to indulge in, whether that's pride and ego and money and status, or other things they indulge in to make themselves feel better. And I think they end up having, in the Seven of Swords, a lot of mental conflict, because there is a part of them, whether they want to acknowledge it or not, that knows the truth. But they keep wanting to be in denial of the truth. I'm not manipulative. I'm not bossy. I'm not controlling. I don't want to win at all costs. I'm not materialistic. I don't have an addiction. But they do. Something is driving them other than love. But they keep trying to manipulate the world to view them as a high vibe person, so people in the world will exchange resources with them while they're hiding the truth. And then they're always stressed out because it's really hard to keep manipulating everyone about the truth of who you are when that's not really the truth of who you are. And they're always really afraid that other people will start to question if they are really who they say they are. And they're always afraid that one day people are going to listen to their intuition about them and become defensive to them and turn their back to them, because they're not authentically who they say they are. And some people have done that. They harness this energy in a shadowy way, being deceptive and manipulative, not wanting to see the truth, and thinking they can just live more from their mind and their heart and control everybody. Can you imagine how stressful that is, to sit and try to control everybody? But if we don't really want to be authentically ourselves in the world, because we haven't learned to love and believe in ourselves, and some people think this is what everybody does, isn't everybody just trying to create this manifestation of the type of person and who they are in the world, and nobody really feels stable and grounded and all these things within themselves. Some people, it is just this, I'm thinking of the word like amalgamation. It's all this conglomeration. Well, I picked up this trait and characteristic from those people. I saw how they were like this and people like that. So now that's part of the puzzle piece of my mask. Oh, I saw people did this, people like that. Okay, that's now a puzzle piece. It's like this whole world of mimicry. I'm going to present myself in all these certain ways in the world so people view me as a stable, grounded person. I am not authentically, like, it's like a whole false self living their life. And what they don't realize is that other people, probably at least 50% of people in the world, are more aligned with their more intuitive, loving, more self-aware nature, and they have grown and matured themselves, and they really are who they say they are, and they put in work and effort to work through their own mental conflict, and eventually those people leave these people behind because they start to realize that these people never do work through their mental conflict. They have things just like the rest of us fallible human beings who have fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs. Other people did work to work through them, to free themselves from them, and these people never do. Some of them are full of themselves. I'm perfect. I don't have to change. And they're in denial that they think they're perfect and that they don't have any lessons to learn in life. In order to learn lessons in life, you have to humble yourself to admit that I even have some lessons to learn in life. And there's some people that are so full of themselves, egotistical and self-centered and full of themselves, I don't have to change. I don't have to heal or grow and mature myself. Maybe because I have all these things of the world, there's going to be people who want to be in a relationship with me. There's other people who in the world who have mental conflict about loving and believing in themselves. They'll come get in a relationship with me and stay in a relationship with me. Well, isn't that wonderful to have people want to be in a relationship with you more for maybe the stability, the security, the status, and the image out of fear? Is that something to be proud of? To know that you have people staying in a relationship with you because they don't love and believe in themselves? They don't want to go find a new job, a new friend, a new relationship. Everybody's deceiving each other. You don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. But because neither one of us wants to leave, we stay in it. Could just be also the Seven of Swords, could just be settling for the more worldly dream. And some people, that is what motivates and inspires them. That's how they view life. That's what makes them happy. And they have the free will to live their life like that. It's just some of the people they would maybe like to have stay in a relationship with them. They do look at life from a higher perspective. Instead of harnessing a more worldly Leo, Virgo, Aquarius energy, they harness a more high vibrational Leo, Virgo, and Aquarius energy. They don't think life is... The high vibe people don't think life is that this is the most important thing, to have a certain status or a certain image or just to be in a relationship or just to make money. I want to be in jobs and friendships and relationships with people who I really love and who really love me, and people who are loving and encouraging and authentic, not people who are just creating an illusion that it's love for these things of the world. So, some of them are surprised that some people are listening to their intuition and they're leaving. What? I can't believe you have done this work within yourself and you're willing to give up some of these things. Maybe to go from a 10 to a 1, like, I know my worth and value enough. I know my own skills and traits and characteristics. I can go recover what I would lose materialistically or social status wise, or I don't really care about that stuff anyway. What's more important to me is that I respect myself. You can have it. I'm leaving, you know? And then from the 1 to the 6, these people don't stay in something in Five of Pentacles energy, where it's just about the world or ego or staying in something where they feel left out in the cold. I'm not going to keep staying left out in the cold, staying with people who I might be loving and encouraging with, and they're seeming to have mental conflict about bringing the dream into reality based on truth and love. Might be more about themselves trying to control me or manipulate me, have all these fears and insecurities that manipulate them that they don't deal with. And eventually people are like, I'm leaving. Until you do the work to free yourself from some of those things, I wish you peace. Another thing they might not see coming is there is other people who are going to want to come get in a relationship with them. Why? Because of the Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. Yeah, you do look like you got all these things in the world. I want to be in a relationship with you. I might not love and believe in myself yet. I'm going to learn some valuable lessons from you. Or I'm just willing to be in a relationship with you for those things. That works for me. I'll stay in a relationship with you. It's like, you won't ever look at life from a higher perspective, right? Nope, I won't. You'll never go within and heal from your past pain and heartbreak, will you? Nope, I won't. Perfect. Let's get in a relationship. Let's stay in a relationship. We'll look like we have all these things of the world that everybody says will make us happy. It's just that we're going to have a lot of mental conflict because we know that other people are really in relationships because of truth and love, and we're in it maybe more because of these things that manipulate us. Okay, yep, I don't really have anything else to add. I just think people who take action in truth and love and deal with the truth, when there's people that they would like to be in a relationship with, but those people aren't willing to work with them cooperatively, then it's like, I wish you peace and I let you go. I don't let it keep me in unstable energy. And for some people, that can really bother the kind of shadowy people in their life, because sometimes some people quit being in a victory with you. Some people try to get other people to stop moving forward with you because the whole thing was they didn't like that you are more happy and free and know your worth and value and love yourself. And they wanted you to be, they wanted to manipulate you to cause you all this mental conflict and stress. And you're not in it. And, initially you could have been, but you had to work through it. And then you work through it and you've detached from it and you've moved back on and you're probably stronger than you were before. And that's when some of the shadowy people now are really stressed out, because sometimes some people want to tear other people down so that by default, if they can do something hurtful and unkind to throw you under the bus, kick you to the curb, and then they can move forward in something. And because you were the hurt and injured party, which of course they're not telling the truth about, and then they go move forward trying to act like you're hoping you'll drive your life off into the ditch, and people will think, oh my gosh, they're not anything like I thought they were. But you don't do that. Well, then their attempts failed, and they probably did take action more out of pride and ego and codependency and all that stuff. And now they're stuck kind of in a probably relationships and living their life in a way that isn't aligned with their truth, but they were just trying to look like they were the winner or something. And some of these people, it's kind of like the devil, always trying to figure out how to bring people down. How can I quit making people love and believe in themselves? And we're going to meet other people in our life who aren't going to like that you love and believe in yourself, and that you're not taking action more out of pride and ego and kind of indulging them in a relationship. Or if they're living their life like that, it kind of shines light on the fact that they do that when you're not doing that. And then they don't like that and they want to hurt you or bring you down. And I think high vibe people are like, bring it on. It's a part of life. There's going to be unkind, unjust, unfair, unloving people in the world. But I have learned a lot of lessons in life. I've dealt with a lot of different people. I just listen to my intuition about people that I interact with, if they seem to be in competitive energy, prideful energy, defensive energy, unloving energy, and I keep my distance from them. I don't keep staying and investing more time, energy, and effort into them. I become independent of them. I don't like how you act in the world. And I don't need you to like me or love me or validate my worth and value. I validate my worth and value. And then it can cause people to be really upset because you are the real deal and they're trying to create the illusion that they are someone who is like you, but they're not, because they're not really being truthful and honest and authentic. It's all an illusion, and shadowy energy is about trying to confuse people about the truth of who you are. And if you don't take action in those shadowy ways of being like they might be taking it, it kind of makes them maybe look a little bad. And it makes people start to wonder, well, I thought you said that person was this way and that way, and that they were prideful and egotistical, and they were materialistic, and they were all about themselves. But they seem to be moving forward in this very stable way of being. You seem to be taking action more out of pride or ego, or trying to manipulate people or whatever. It seems like you're maybe the person that we should distance ourselves from, not them. So there you go, Leo energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.